What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man, George.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you living out there, man? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. Shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def to Radio, which is our website, deftoradio.com, and also, of course, our Instagram, Def to Radio. Make sure you guys follow us in both places. It's a great way to kind of support the channel, man. The information for that will be in the description, of course, as well.
And as always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all, guys, so you get all our videos as they drop. Up-and-coming artists, make sure you click the link in the description. We'll do about 60 seconds of your song in front of one of our up-and-coming videos. Get you some exposure if you need it. Make sure you check that out. That will be in the description as well. So we're getting back to Nas, man. Office Hours is the name of this cut, man, featuring 50 on this. So we might, see, are we rekindling some magic here? You see that?
Queen's Connection.
See that?
Magic. That was hard, though. That was hard. Queen's Connection with 50 as well. I feel like 50 and Nas have had an interesting relationship. I feel like there's always been respect there, but there's been rough patches as well. So I like, but 50's had rough patches with damn near everybody. Exactly. Shout out to 50 though. But I just like seeing it. I just like seeing Nas and 50. When y'all said, because shout out to everybody that hit us up on Instagram when you guys hit us up and said to do this one. I was like, 50 on the track. Okay, that's dope. Me and Ryan were talking before we cut the camera on. We were like, so Nas and Hit-Boy, they've done King's Disease 1, 2, and 3. Then they did Magic, the first Magic, and now we have Magic 2. Right? So we got 5 albums, right?
Yeah.
5 albums is like the equivalent to what Kendrick Lamar has for his entire career. And Kendrick's been doing it since 2000, we'll say 11.
Yeah, about that.
So Nas and Hit-Boy have had a whole career. He's had a whole career worth of albums with Nas. Hit-Boy has. You know what I mean? So it's a great look for both of them, obviously, because I feel like really this is rejuvenated Nas, as everyone's been saying. Like this kind of lit the fire back and shit underneath him and shit, right? So because he locked in with Hit-Boy. So I just think that that's something interesting to think about. Like Nas has 16 albums, man.
That's crazy.
Been doing this shit since 93? Since Live at the Barbecue, man.
That's crazy, dude.
Still. So what we're doing here is just icing on the cake, man. This is just icing on the cake, man. Nas does not need to do this anymore. He's rich beyond belief on some business shit.
That's true.
But just in terms of his solidification of we talking about a Mount Rushmore guy. So every time I see him put out stuff, man, I'm just like, I'm just taking it all in, because there's gonna come a point where he's probably gonna hang it up, man. So this is just icing, and he's still rapping at a high level. So let's get to it, man. Nas and 50, Office Hours off of Magic 2. Is this Office Hours? Is that like Big Red from the 5 Heartbeats? My Office Hours off of what? 9 to 5 after he fucking tortured my man and shit.
Yeah. No reason to stop.
No reason to stop, huh? Guess not, right?
This shit just flowing like water. Let it flow. Bruce Lee said, be like I ain't even thinking.
Talk to him, right?
Yeah, no reason to stop. No reason to stop. You just said that, right? Like he's rapping at a high level, still doing 16 albums. So, and that's funny that was the first line that came in the song when we started this. He was like, no reason to stop. Like, why? It's flowing like water, shit, right? Why?
Why stop? Why stop? When I'm still relevant, people still care to hear what I have to say.
Let's get it.
Let's keep going.
This shit just flowing like water. Let it flow. Bruce Lee said, be like I ain't even thinking. Like water. It just goes. Don't even think about it. Hip-hop's back. Esco, they know over 808, some fatal over samples. I go yayo, crack music like the Yates on plugged in. Jumper cables, track bumping like prenatal 70s. I play with Play-Doh, all I see a bunch of Fredos. Godfather, they on payroll, they on go. When I say so, not to kill. Not a halo, they gon' build. Plant tomatoes in the field. Not Ojado, white truck negotiator on the phone. Talking paper, Office Hours all day though. I'm from the hood that started the year. Go and check it, do your research. I started the surge. That big necklace shit. After the 80s, after I killed, I resurrected it. Chest is lit, freezing, I'm polar vortexing it. Now they quiz me, am I gonna step from the business? A lot.
Did Ghostface have that big ego? Nas, let me just give Nas his credit. Just so y'all know what I'm talking about. Nas said he resurrected the big dookie chain, the chains and all that, Cubans. And I'm just being funny, like saying, I was like, okay, Ghostface was in that conversation too. I'm trying to think of who resurrected it. We know Rakim and all that, and Kane and them had the big chains in the 80s, early 90s, but Nas, of course, and I think Ghostface and a few others were really brought the big chains back. So I was just fucking around. But I am curious though to see who's the guy that really resurrected it. LL too, right? Well, LL was 80s, but then also LL, LL was I think he was the originator.
I think so too. Real. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, but we're splitting hairs. So I mean, the bottom line is, I love what he's doing.
He led the charge to resurrecting them heavy jewels though. So shout out to God.
So I like the the pocket he's in, man, because he's talking about like the evolution. I feel like that's where he's going. I don't know, but it seems like, dude, I've been doing this a long time. Why stop? And now I'm gonna tell you how long I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for like early '90s. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like the time he's on right now.
He had mentioned what did he say? I see a bunch of Fredos. That's a Godfather reference, right? Like Michael Corleone's brother Fredo, who ended up, I think, betraying him from what I remember. And he said, Godfather, they on payroll, they on go. When I say so, not to kill, not a halo, they gonna build, plant tomatoes. So I'm the Godfather of this shit, right? But not on some criminal shit. We're gonna do this legally. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this, we're gonna have this mob shit legally. Build, plant tomatoes. It's just his way of saying, like, I'm cultivating an empire. So they're gonna do what I say, but on some business shit, right? Just enterprising essentially is what Nas is speaking on. So I just thought that was really dope.
To kill, not a halo, they gon' build. Plant tomatoes in the field. Not a Jado, white truck negotiator on the phone. Talking paper, office hours all day though. I'm from the hood that started the yurt. Go and check it, do your research. I started the surge, that big necklace shit. After the 80s, after I killed, I resurrected it. Chest is lit, freezing, I'm polar vortexing it. Now they quiz me, am I gonna step from the business? A lot of feelings in this game like I just left the dentist. Without a number needle, I feed the people cause I love the people. 2 series at once, yeah, let's run the sequel. If I really gotta dumb it down for some of y'all, that's that Magic and KD at the same time. This ain't a Dumb and Dumber sequel. Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey's my mans. But here's the plan.
That was hard,
multitasker. I don't need an OG pass.
That was kind of hard though. He said, if I really gotta dumb it down for y'all, that's that Magic and KD at the same time. So he's talking about his album, Magic, the first Magic, and then King's Disease, right? He was at the same time, like he's going in between both, right? The last reaction we did, go check those reactions out. Dun and Beef and all that was off of King's Disease. Now he's like, okay, I'm gonna come back with Magic. Maybe he's gonna come back with King's Disease 4 after this, you know. So, but he's also referencing it's like a little, you know, like a little double entendre, right? Like KD, Kevin Durant is an all-time great basketball player. Magic Johnson, all-time great basketball player. So this is that KD, Kevin Durant shit at the same time.
Which would be like magical.
Magic,
would
right.
be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, this ain't the Dumb and Dumber sequel, though. This ain't that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, but Jim Carrey's my man, no Jeff Daniels. You know what I'm saying? So this is a different type of sequel. So I thought that was dope. When he said, I go yayo, crack music, like Yazos, I'm plugged in, right? So, you know, Yazos, I think Kanye was calling himself Yazos. Like Jeff Bezos, like the richest guy in the world, right? But he called himself Yazos, Kanye Yazos. And he made the song Crack Music off of Late Registration as well. So, but Nas is saying, I'm spitting that crack. I'm spitting that addictive drug shit. You know what I'm saying?
I feed the people cause I love the people. 2 series at once, yeah, let's run the sequel. If I really gotta dumb it down for some of y'all, that's that Magic and KD at the same time. This ain't a Dumb and Dumber sequel. Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey's my mans. But here's the plan. Multitasker, I don't need an OG pass. See, my trajectory is everlasting. Like Curtis Jackson, hit 105 and did a crazy tirade.
I'm sorry. I like that line. I like that. I don't need an OG pass line though. That's a line that you can kind of like just like overlook this shit, but it's a very, very meaningful line. I don't need an OG pass. What is the OG pass? It's when you respect old school legends and this and that, but you can tell that they're washed. No, that's a horrible word, washed. But you could just tell that they're not what they used to be, but you give them a pass because of just their status as a pioneer. Now I was just like, I don't need an OG pass. Clearly, I don't need an OG pass. I'm still out here wrecking shit, killing shit. Relevant as hell, you know what I'm saying? Still, you know, making meaningful, impactful music. So I just thought that was a really important line to touch, though.
But here's the plan. Multitasker, I don't need an OG pass. See, my trajectory is everlasting. Like Curtis Jackson, hit 105 and did a crazy tirade. I'm surprised that I acted that way. A baby Mac 10 on my yak shit. Carhartt in the cold. Don't get confused or used or let them bother your soul. Rap what I live. I sleep good. I have no vendettas. We the reason you spelling Y with capital letters. Listen, and for those who want my position, you gotta step inside the time machine, come back with a vengeance. You should go study my analytics. I shout at people on verses that ain't deserving. When it's turf shit, I stand on business. Shout to the ones to whom I gave passes. Could have been a lot of graves full of caskets. Damn, I'm a good guy. For that, I think I'm blessed more. All these Fredos could have been added to the death score. They'll be second line dancing on St. Charles Street. New Orleans band was jamming, playing a raw beat. They gon' miss him sad. They say they stopped his heartbeat. Like his arteries clogged for feasting on some hard meat.
In the zone, victim, stick 'em, get 'em, book 'em, good you got 'em, glad you took 'em, lacking wasn't looking, headshot, drill shit up the pole, peel shit 40 Glock, kill switch run, bitches still hit, rat back 'em, jump 'em, gun butt 'em, lump 'em, he fight back and slump 'em, this shit ain't about nothing, you saw it but you ain't seen shit, this is queen shit. No ifs, ands, or buts in between shit. It's 50, nigga. You already know how to give it like on my bullshit. Niggas tweaking and gigging. Huh? Southside, nigga. QB, nigga. Yeah. So what we gonna do? Where Jungle at? What we gonna do? We standing here, we going out. Shit, we should go out. We rich as a motherfucker.
Esco, they know over 808, some fatal over samples. I go yayo, crack music like the yays on plugged in. Jumper cables, trap bumping like prenatal 70s. I play with Play-Doh, all I see a bunch of Fredos. All I see a bunch of Fredos. All I see a bunch of Fredos. All I see is a bunch of Fredos. Hey, yo, Fizz, I might put my next album out on G-Unit. You let them slap you around out here? You can't let them slap you around out here. It's bad for the family. They put a hand on you, you put two on them. On them. Fucking Fredos. One thing I hate is a fucking Fredo. It's bad for the family.
It's bad for the family.
Put a hand on you, you put two on them.
Yeah, you
gotta regulate.
Restore order.
Gotta regulate.
You know what I'm saying? What did he say here, man? Shout out to the ones at home. I gave passes. Could have been a lot of graves and with full caskets. He's like, damn, I'm a good guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I really could have went some shit could have really went the other way, man. I saw a interview that Snoop Dogg had, and he was talking about a run-in that he had with Nas when he was with Pac. It was Snoop Dogg, Pac, and he had a run-in with Nas and his guys. And he said that Pac had this kind of energy, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it was all that East Coast, West Coast beef type of shit.
Source Awards, right? I think it was at the Source Awards.
Is that where it was? Okay. And Pac was like ready for the smoke. He was like, yeah, you know, let's see what these motherfuckers are talking about. Yeah. And I guess Pac came to him, was like, so what's up type of shit. And Snoop said that Nas was like, dude, man, I'll never dish you, my man. You my brother. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? I love your music. You do your thing. And he gave him a hug and shit. And he said, this is Snoop telling the story. And Snoop was like, Pac said to Snoop that, see, you know what I'm saying? They scared. They didn't want the smoke. And Snoop was like, nah, we got to pass, bro. Because shit could have got real bad real quick. Yeah. We got to pass on that. They let us slide on that, you know? Yeah. And so when I hear him talking about, shout out to the ones at home I gave passes to, it could have been a lot of graves full of caskets, you know? That's immediately what I thought about was that interview, like, because Nas strikes me as a person, I don't know him personally, but he strikes me as a person that's intelligent and understands, you know, chess moves. Like, if I do this could happen and that could happen.
And
so
just the bigger picture.
I could believe that he gave a couple people passes. He said something about rap, what I live, you know, I sleep good, I have no vendettas, you know. I feel like that all plays into the chess moves, man. You know what I mean? It's more than just rap. For that, I think I'm blessed more. I think is what he said exactly.
He said, we the reason you spell NY with capital letters. We spell New York with capital letters because of people like me who represent it. Not only like, you know, myself, but also representing New York to the fullest.
And then you got 50 coming in with the shoot 'em up, bang, bang. I like that he didn't stray away from what he's good at. You know what I mean? Even though being on a track with like Nas, man, I think you could get wrapped up in, you know, because, you know, at times he could be very lyrically dense, you know. But 50 didn't stray away. He's like, no, I'm going to do what I do. I'm one of the best in the game at doing this. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang, you know. And I think when the song was, when 50 was ending his verse, we had both said that, like, 50 said, you saw it, but you ain't see shit. Because this is Queen shit. You know what I mean? You saw it. You saw all this shit happen, right? But you really didn't see shit, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Mafia, right? No. You didn't see. No. You didn't see anything, right? Yeah, of course you didn't.
All right?
Yeah.
You didn't see shit.
It's not something that I probably would bang all the time, but it's just more of appreciation for me, though.
50's verse, 50 frustrates me, man, because I feel like he says brilliant shit in interviews, and I just want him to turn that shit that he says in interviews into songs. Does that make sense? Like 50 will have some amazing philosophical shit to say in an interview, but from a dude that's from the streets perspective, but then is also obviously elevated. I would love for his music to reflect that. I just felt like this was just a random verse that he just wanted to be aggressive on, which I guess is fine, but I just feel like 50 has so much wisdom, I feel like, and so much knowledge regarding just life and hip hop and the game, and I wish he had more of that in his music at this stage of his career. That's just a personal preference for 50, because I've already heard this from 50. If I want to hear this shit, I can just go back to some of the G Unit mixtapes. I can get all that from that. But at this stage, it'd be nice to hear him do, you know, I'm not saying be Nas, but the approach that Nas is taking is just, you know, what he's learned from his travels, and also just sort of reflecting on the past and sort of enter sort of woven topics from the past versus what's happening in the future and in the present. I just think that would be beautiful, and I think 50 could really make a classic if he really wanted to with that approach, but that's just my opinion. He said hit 105 and did a crazy tirade. I'm surprised that I acted that way. So I think that's when he was on 105 when he was talking, he was just basically going at rappers, telling them to get better, if I'm not mistaken, when he was just like, yo, Noriega, you slacking, Cameron, you making all that bullshit. I think it was just his way of being, he was just frustrated with the game and where it was at the time, and he just started calling out rappers, and then, you know, then Cameron and Jim Jones and them dissed Nas and said, I'll smack the kufi off your head, and had that whole beef and shit with Nas. We the kufi smackers. I remember, shout out to Cameron. Salute to Nas, man.
Yeah, man.
Salute
Big
to
time.
Hit-Boy. The beat was cool, too. The beat was cool. Yeah, good joint. Nothing, not mad at it. 50's verse had energy, is aggressive. You know, I'd be interested to hear some other shit from 50. That's just me. And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you have subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure y'all follow us on Def to Radio. That's pretty much where we're going to be spending most of our time as far as like getting requests and just chopping it up. So the information for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Las Vegas. We out.